let's talk about the burlesque stuff.
Okay, what about it?
Well, I don't know much of anything. Like, I've seen one of your shows, and it was really fun, and I don't know if people understand, what's the difference between burlesque and, I don't know, stripping?
A strip club?
Yeah, strip club. Like, people don't get
a really,
the difference.
really, very loose definition for burlesque is vaudeville.
Yes.
It used to be used as a form of parody against, like, the bourgeoisie. It used to be, people of the lower class would use burlesque as a way to express their ideas without actually being punished for it. And it evolved. It was more so vaudeville. It was more so like kind of circusy. It was those kinds of things. It was a lot of humor, and they would occasionally have like a cabaret girl or a girl doing a striptease or that kind of thing. And then eventually they started to mesh and they started to meld, and it became that you would do the striptease while doing vaudeville. And then eventually at modern times we know burlesque as generally more referring to the striptease. And I think it is stripping. It is stripping. It is not, you don't have to hustle like you do at a strip club, so right. I'm not going to say they're one and the same, but we all, it's all stripping. And there are some people who do burlesque and they don't actually take any clothes off, and there are sometimes when there's burlesque and they're putting clothes on, and that would be called a reverse strip. And I think that for me, burlesque is, you're taking an idea, even if it's only in your head, even if the audience has no idea what the actual story is, and you're telling a story by dancing, or by doing circus tricks, or by acting, or anything, and you're generally doing it to music. There's not a whole lot of speaking usually involved in the acts, so it's all reliant on your movements and your body, and you're telling a story with your body, and you're telling a story with the song that you choose, and the costuming that you choose, and I don't know. I kind of got a little long-winded there, but
that's okay.
I think that the main difference between burlesque and most stripping, not all, but most strip club stripping, is that they make a hell of a lot more money than we do. But that we also, our routines are generally much more heavily choreographed, unless you're doing improv, but then that's a whole nother thing. But burlesque is, you build the costume, you build the choreo, you have your 3 to 5 minute song, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, can take you anywhere from 6 months to a year and a half to actually get all of that down pat. And it's more like theater and doing cool things with your body. Like, we have girls who can, we call them assels, and it's essentially where you take tassels, they would be pasties with the tassels attached, and you put them on your butt, and then they jiggle their butt and the tassels twirl, and I can't do that yet, but I'm working on it. What we call our stage hands, they would be either kittens, or since in Burlescapades we have twin boys who do it, so they're our stage tigers. And so I worked that show as a stage kitten, and I just loved it so much that I finally was like, okay, well, maybe I want to try this. And so I understudied with Burlescapades for about 6 months, came up with my first routine, which was Princess Bubblegum, and it was adorable, but it kind of makes me cringe to watch it now because I was such a baby performer.
Always?
I'm still a baby performer, and I've been performing for 2 years. But burlesque, you're always learning. You're never going to know everything. There's always going to be somebody who's better than you. There's always going to be something to learn, and I love that about it. It's an art form that I will never feel like I have just mastered it. I'll never be bored of it. And the first time I hit the stage, I thought I was going to throw up on the whole front row, and I didn't. And
you lived?
And here we are now.
You can laugh about it now.
2 years later, 6 solos, a duet, and a group routine, and I can't get enough of it. I adore it, and I love performing, and I'm always nervous before a show. I get to mesh a lot of my favorite stuff when it comes to burlesque. I get to dance. I love dancing. I get to make costumes. I love making costumes. I choose music that I adore, and I get to do makeup, and I get to do my hair. Though I don't like doing my hair, I can't do it. I have somebody else do my hair.
Okay, you're so good at makeup that it doesn't matter.
And it's just a lot of fun. It really is. I find it very gratifying. It's the most expensive hobby I've ever had, but it is very gratifying.
Would you say that doing the burlesque has improved your self-image?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I was only kind of joking when I said I was shy before. I actually am quite shy, but it's nice because I get to adopt this persona. Anya Graves, she is this fantastic, she is what I would call a sparkle goth. She is this little goth kid, but who's still super happy and bubbly and just loves everything, but also likes, like the color, well, not the color, black and bats and vampires and spikes and all that glory. And I get to kind of wear her.
Well, and I love your Facebook, your name for your followers, the Grave Diggers. I love that.
That was something I came up with on a whim. I just used it as a joke, and then one of my good friends, actually, for PCC last year, I jokingly said that I was going to call my fan club the Grave Diggers. I didn't actually think I had a fan club. I have friends who really enjoy what I do. And he actually went and made a ridiculous amount of these adorable buttons that say Gravedigger for me to give out to people as a fan club.
I want one.
I'll get you one. As like a fan club badge. And so ever since then, anytime I make a post that has to do with burlesque or something I'm participating in or something I'm making or anything like that, I think it's fun. It feels really inclusive to me. Like I feel like these are my people, and I'm making an announcement to my people. And so, plus it was cute.
It is cute. It's super cute.